request of Governor Scott Walker.
The question before the body is passage of the bill. The senator will recognize, what? Oh, concurrence, I'm sorry. The senator will recognize the senator from the 7th.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues of the Senate, tonight we end a debate that started on a cold day in February. On that day, we were offered a budget that attacked our most basic Wisconsin values. We were handed a state budget that gave $0 to our neighborhood public schools, expanded vouchers to 9 failing public school districts across the state, and blasts open a budget deficit with a tax cut directed at the wealthy. To say that the governor's budget was extreme is an understatement. But a few months later, on the night of June 4th, or in the early morning of June 5th, however you want to look at it, the Joint Finance Committee passed a revised budget that somehow was even more extreme. Their new budget burst open wide with extreme Tea Party amendments. No longer just expanded unaccountable voucher schools to 9 school districts, they expanded them to every neighborhood in the state without asking whether they wanted them or not. The JFC budget maintained the rejection of funding to strengthen Badger Care and increasing costs to taxpayers to cover the expected costs associated with new uninsured patients. Fortunately, it's leaving our neighbors behind, not able to access health care. This morning, I referenced my call for members of this body to remember the words of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And now, more than ever, his calls for compassion ring true. Tonight's impassioned debate on the life or death of our state was addressed by many with a compassionate heart, and I'm grateful for their wise words. Tonight, Senate Democrats fought for our neighbors and for the neighbors across the state. We fought for providing the sick with access to affordable health care when they would otherwise go without by accepting the federal funds that are available to them. We fought for access to health care for 100,000 more of our neighbors and were turned down. Fought to give our children the best chance at a better life than our own by finally investing in our neighborhood public schools after the largest cut to education in our state's history. And tonight, we fought for jobs at a time where Wisconsin lags behind the rest of the country. We're 44th in the nation in private sector job growth. We tried to steer the state in a positive direction. I'm proud of our debate. Our members voiced strong arguments, spoke for their communities, and made sure that the little guy was heard today. For that reason, we will not stop fighting. Wisconsin Senate Democrats will continue to stand as a wall for common sense reform, looming over the middle class, watching out and pointing out the anti-middle class actions this body is forcing forward upon our state. We didn't hear, although we did have some debate, we didn't hear the defense of this budget and the direction it's taking our state. Instead, we saw a lot of looking backwards, pointing fingers, saying, well, you started it, so now we're doing it. Instead of moving forward in a new positive direction, instead of moving forward with less policy, we actually broke the record. We're about to break the record on setting the most non-fiscal related policy in a budget. And instead of actually standing up for our neighborhoods, we're looking backwards at what had been done before. At a time where our state continues to be so divided, as it's been the last 2.5 years, my hope was we'd be able to find a way to work together. I appreciate we had some support on our amendments from across the aisle. Hope we would have had more. So with that, I want to thank my fellow colleagues for their hard work and strong sense of right and wrong. Your persistent optimism about our ability to make Wisconsin a better place is an inspiration to us all. While we may not have won the battle today, I am confident, with you all at my side, we will win this war for Wisconsin's middle-class families.
Mr. President, I move